Good morning, noon, and night. So today we're going to be installing the 2016 F250 bumper on my 03 F350. So as you can see, my 2003 style bumper is a little worn out, it's pretty beat up. The connectors for the trailer lights, trailer brake system and everything like that are pretty worn out, fall in and out all the time. It's a pretty simple process to come in here and get them disconnected. So there is a plug right up here that needs to be disconnected. If you can see this plug right here. So we'll take and press the detent in and pull, and that has the plug disconnected. And then so the reason for disconnecting the tail light and stuff, the bracket for the trailer light setup is all mounted to the bumper itself. The newer style, it is not, so we need to take that off. You can either reuse this bracket and install it onto your newer style bumper, or in my situation I have a newer style bracket which has got the these two style connectors built into one mechanism, a little cleaner look. So next up is to run the wires down and get them out. Okay, so we're on the driver's side of the truck by the tow package here, and here the bolts are. There's 2 bolts. We'll loosen those up and get them taken out, and the bumper should come out. Alright, so for bolt number 2, okay, so now we're on the passenger side of the truck. 2 more bolts in the same location, just on the passenger side. Just have to get those off now. Okay, so for bolt number 4, and this should be the last bolt, last nut itself that's actually holding the bumper on. Just have to get it lined up here. Kind of hard to do with the camera in my hand. So that has the bolt itself out, and now what's left holding the bumper in are these two bolts here, but those bolts are held on with these U clip things that keep the bolts from spinning when you're trying to take the nuts off. So now all we have to do is slide those things out, and the bumper should release and be ready to come off. Okay, so now it's time to take the rear bumper off. To get the rear bumper off, we're going to have to move those U-bolt things, slide them out and out of the way, and the bumper should fall right down. I'm going to be using my knee or leg or whatever to help stabilize the bumper as I do so. Okay, in this situation I'm going to be using my knee to give the bumper some support, where I can push up on it and it relieves the pressure from the bolts itself. Okay, so that's side number 1. Okay, so that's side number 2. Now the bumper should drop down. bumper is now off. Now we're going to take a look here and I'll show you what we were dealing with. So these are the brackets that hold the rear bumper on, and these are the U-bolt things that slide in from the side. Slide in these screws here, and it keeps the bolts from spinning. That way you can take the nuts on and off a little bit easier. My old bumper's pretty wore out, and to get the old style wiring to plug back in, I'm going to have to do a little bit of rewiring and splicing into the new style plug. Should be a fairly simple process, but for now we're going to install the step pad onto this bumper to kind of give you an idea of what's going on here and how you can remove a step pad if you need to. These little grooves, these like A-looking pieces of plastic, they slide into these small grooves here, and all we have to do to put them in is just line them up properly and smack them down. Should be a fairly simple, easy process. So you see we've got it lined up fairly well, and the back one's slapped in already. That one. See, this is the line. The line is lining up as it should. Start from the back side again. Alright, so the back one's lined up now. Alright. Those are lined up. Okay, so now I'm going to take and turn the rear bumper around. We're going to insert the new wiring, and I'll walk you through that process. So as far as snapping the new bulb holders in, it's fairly simple. This is the back side of the bumper. You'll take the bulb holder, you'll make sure that it's going to be facing towards the license plate, which would be the back of the bumper. And you just slide the thing around here and slide it into its groove and give it a good push, and you should be good to go. Mine are a little snug. There it is, ready to go. Okay, you guys, so going through the package that I was sent with the rear bumper, I was given new rear bumper mounts, 2 of them, which the mounts I really like, but they sent me these 4 bolts to bolt the rear bumper mounts up. I don't exactly like these bolts, and the reason I do not is because they're a little thinner than the original, which allows it a little bit of room to move around. So I'm going to go back with the factory mounting brackets. So over here on the rear bumper, I've already gotten one of the nuts off the bolt. I've went through and taken a breaker bar and broken all of these loose. Anyways, I'm going to set you guys down to get these bolts out, and because it's going to require 2 hands. But I'll get back with you in just a second. Another nice thing about these bolts is that they have that U thing welded to the back of those 2 to keep them from spinning. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this whole bracket because these seem to be kind of seized in there. I don't really need them out if I just use the bracket. These aren't bent, so I might as well just keep them together. here we are on the new back bumper. We're going to take and slide the mounts into place. Then we'll take the nuts that came off of there, strap them on. Do the same thing on the other side. So, the other side here. And this bumper's got I guess a J bend in it. So that kind of gives you an idea to make sure that you put the bracket on the right side. You wouldn't want to put it on the side that has the lip on it. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to set you guys down somewhere and I'm going to tighten these up. Time to line the bumper up. Not going to be a very easy task to do so, especially by myself. I'm going to slide the thing in and rest it here on the receiver hitch, and hope it stays long enough for me to get lined up. I'm taking two of the nuts, sliding them under each side, along with the U-bolt thing. U-bolt thing right here, and see if I can get it lined up. So I'm just going to take and do a couple threads on these bolts so I can line the next side up. This will allow it to move a little bit more freely without being too tight and me having to push against the tightness of the bumper also. Okay, so now I'm hand tightening the bolts as far as I can get them in by my hands. Now I'm using the 13/16 again to tighten them up. This job would be a lot easier if you had a 13/16 deep well, but I do not have the deep well, at least in a large enough diameter to do this job. Bumper bolted up, but it seems to look pretty good. Line up pretty well. Decently pleased with the alignment. Not too bad. Definitely makes the truck look a lot better, especially in the rear end, where this truck could use quite a bit of work still. We still have the old style tail lights and tailgate in here. I do have a newer style tail lights for it. I can't decide if I want to change the tailgate yet or not, but got a little bit of work to do here. So if you like today's content, please like and subscribe, and go out and make life epic.